Ever since Benix's first 1.16 world record, many people have been speculating over who would get the first sub 10 minutes in the category, which makes what happened on April 19th, 2021 so insane. This is Brentilda's 9:38. On June 26, 2020, Benix would get the very first 1.16 world record at over 24 minutes, only 3 days after 1.16 was released. And ever since then, newer and newer innovations have came to grind the time lower and lower. And many people thought that a popular runner would get the first sub 10 in the category. But in the end, after all of this, it was Brentilda who got the first sub 10. Now, let's get into the run. Brentilda spawns in a plains, and you can immediately see a lot of freezing. Well, it's not actually freezing. What Brentilda is doing is pausing his game while the chunks load. You see, Minecraft speedruns are timed with something called time attack, or time spent in the actual Minecraft world. So loading screens don't count. If you paused your game, that wouldn't count either. So he's shaving off valuable seconds while looking around. Brentilda spawns in a plains, right next to a village and a lava pool. After making some tools, killing the golem, the iron falls into the cave, so there's a little bit of time loss there. After getting wood and flint, Brentilda makes his nether portal and gets into the nether at good time. Once in the nether, the pause spamming comes back while he looks around, and he gets an amazing nether spawn. Basically, his nether has a bastion right in front of him. A nether fortress also comes in sight, but most interestingly, there's a fossil in his 0-0 chunk. I'll talk about why fossils are useful in a few moments. His bastion is the housing variant, and because he didn't get an iron pickaxe in the overworld, he has to hope for iron in a chest. Well, it comes. 6 iron in 1 chest. Now, let me talk about why the fossil is so good now. What I'm about to talk about was discovered by someone named Matthew Bolan, a Minecraft genius at strategies. Matthew Bolan must have used fossil generation and Minecraft's code to create this chart. Basically, when you look at a fossil, a Minecraft speedrunner can determine by the position of the fossil which direction the stronghold is and optimal coordinates to blind travel at. I'm as confused as you are, but Matthew Bolan is a genius, so somehow he was able to come up with this. Back to the run though. Brentilda is ready with everything he needs really quickly in the bastion and has a bunch of pearls, but he doesn't actually use too many in the run. He tries to pearl over the lava, but accidentally pearls into the lava. He does have fire res, so it won't kill him, but it's still a time loss. In the bastion, Brentilda turns down his render distance, so more stray blazes spawn near him. And it worked, and so many blazes spawned right next to Brentilda that he never actually needs to find a spawner. He goes 6 for 8 on blaze rod drops, which is pretty good and mostly over average. After using the fossil to determine the direction he should be blind traveling at, Brentilda builds his nether portal, and something insane happens. Also, if you want to know what blind travel is, check out my video about Illumina's world record. something crazy happens after this. He spawns right into the stronghold. And not only that, spawns right next to the portal room too. I'm sure nobody needs to tell you how insane this is, and this has never happened before on a random seed. This is a huge accomplishment that someone was able to use just a fossil in the Nether to be able to spawn in the fortress right next to the portal room. Brentilda fills in the eyes and gets ready. The pressure is always high on speedrunners when they're about to get a world record. But I'm sure the pressure that Brentilda was feeling has been unmatched when this was happening live on stream. Brentilda is about to make history as the very first person to ever get a sub 10 in RSG history. Now, I think I'm gonna let the run speak for itself and run the 1 cycle.
Dude. What? Dude. Oh my god. Dude. What?
First of all, huge congrats to Brentilda for his incredible run. You should definitely go check him out. His link will be down in the description. But secondly, sadly, after Brentilda got his run, a few people were unsatisfied. People started calling out Brentilda for his pause abuse, or saying that if he hadn't paused so much, he wouldn't have gotten the sub 10 and probably wouldn't have even gotten a world record. Well, since the mods still haven't officially banned pausing from speedrunning yet, that means Brentilda is entirely allowed to pause throughout his game. And many people have different opinions though. And this whole pause drama began when a speedrunner by the name of Xylonox decided to pause his game during his run to do math in his head to estimate the stronghold location. And the mod said since he was progressing through the game, that would have to be added to his real time. And ever since this, people have been calling out anyone who used pauses to their advantage in a run. If you ask me, I think the pausing shouldn't be added to Brentilda's final time, and it should still be considered the very first sub 10. And while sure, it maybe isn't a very fair sub 10, in my opinion, it is definitely a huge milestone for Minecraft speedrunning. And I think, even though this didn't happen for Xylonox, the mods shouldn't add the pausing to his actual time. So that was the very first sub 10 ever in Random Seed Glitchless history. Also, because of the insane amounts of pausing that happens in the run, the time definitely will not be 9:36. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Peace out.